Build better builds. Waluigi. This will be the first one we're specifically looking at for Waluigi in this new series for Mario Strikers Battle League, but in this series we're just going to show the one single build and examples of its power. There's also often going to be some shortcomings, and so we'll get into that too, but here's today's Waluigi build, and this is what I'm going to name the Waluigi build. Credit to George on our Discord and subscribed for that name. You can see this is his gear, so we've got the trick helmet, the muscle gauntlets, the Bushido armor, and the Bushido sandals. You can see the numbers, but this makes our Waluigi heavy on strength and speed, practically nothing on passing, but also decently high on technique, and the shooting attribute itself is looking awful by stats, but we're actually going to elaborate on that a little bit later. So you'll want to run this build often in the back, which means whether you're playing solo or with a duo at least, pick the Waluigi last most of the time when you're doing your team comp. Here's the thing, this speed combined with this strength is going to make him flag down somebody and catch them pretty easily. Possibly the best thing I like about Waluigi done this way is that we don't have to charge up the tackle. The advantage here may be obvious, but just in case it needs explaining, your opponent can see the arrows in front of you as you charge your tackle. A fully charged tackle, while great when it lands, also requires more time in general, and that's just more time for the other team to act or dodge or whatever. So all you need to do here is the Happy Gilmore method. Just tap it in. Just tap it in, meaning just tap the button. And our Waluigi build will straight up elbow them easy. This Waluigi will go good with 1 or 2 minimum characters that are your offensive squad with either good shooting and or technique, the scorers, right? So the prime example in this video footage has been my Yoshi build with this Rosalina build as well, both with 21 shooting but also fair speed, decent. The thing is, your offense, the scoring builds, they may not often be able to balance strength with shooting and speed. All those three, that's a triad of epic proportions that often sacrifices a lot of other things, and like I say, it's just often not able to be done, really. So your Waluigi is actually going to be a lot of muscle here. We discussed how great it is just being able to one-tap and bring down most enemies, but also the charge tackle, it does have some distance with a character like Waluigi, and with that speed, too. When he's got a mushroom and you tackle, he like flies across half the pitch in one fell swoop. So now getting back to this, like who would your 4th character be to round out when you use this Waluigi build? The good news is that's variable based on your preferences and playstyle. A club member of mine and I tried a Speedy Peach and we just hated having that as our 4th, but we generally loved having an all-around or scoring Mario of some kind, but also a Toad with speed and scoring potential, whether that's shooting and or technique. When I was playing solo, however, I actually enjoyed having a Bowser build that was somewhat similar, but just had a bit more passing with sacrificing that technique, because our steroidal Waluigi build here can actually do a lot with that amount of technique. This gave me the chance to also bump our Waluigi up to the 3rd spot and then have that Bowser at the back, because speed sometimes is the concern unless your Bowser has some good speed like this build, but still, you also gotta account for Bowser's size. Even if Waluigi is a wall with this build, he's still stick thin and small in comparison, so Bowser can put his body on the line more when it's this setup. But okay, we know that this has to be a thing, so here are the shortcomings with this build. 1, the passing is just garbage. Like, really, it's so bad, and I'm a person who probably puts passing as the least important attribute for priorities, for myself at least. 2, we mentioned it before, but with Waluigi as the defender, his body's hitbox isn't massive like the tanky big 3, and now, number 3 is actually going to transition us to the next point as well, but it's essentially that his shooting and scoring is incredibly niche. He doesn't have the power on the shots, but we'll talk about what he does have right now. This can be the final thing we should mention. This Waluigi build actually does have some scoring potential. It's niche though, as you'd imagine. Something about Boom Boom going up against Waluigi, like he gets scared, I don't know, but Waluigi is kind of masterful at some more of that Happy Gilmore tap it in strategy here. You can charge up your shots or you can just tap it in, but either way, it'll be kind of like he's kicking with legs made of paper, yet they can go in on your close-up shots. Anything too far outside of your opponent's box will have a much tougher time without significant pushing against the goalie beforehand. Like again, the box is kind of a good measure here, but really, if you can use your dodge like pretty close to and in front of their goal, this Waluigi defense build can get in some of those goals from the short distance. That means you have the chance to score with this build, it's just not going to be the strong suit. And so there you have it. Let me know if you end up trying this build, and I may show off other builds if you guys enjoy this Build Better Builds series. Please click an end screen on screen to see another one, and thanks for viewing.